I repurposed a couple of old file holders to organize all my cutting boards and container lids inside the cabinet. By storing each item upright in its own section, everything instantly looks much neater. I usually dedicate one side to plastic container lids while the other side is used to organize cutting boards by size. It helps everything stay more ventilated, especially cutting boards after washing, so they dry faster and don't trap that damp smell. I really like this setup because it makes use of the vertical space inside the cabinet without buying expensive organizers. Old plastic cutting boards may look worn out, but don't throw them away just yet. With 4 small wooden beads and a little glue, you can turn them into something useful. First, attach the wooden beads to the 4 corners underneath the cutting board to create small feet. This turns it into a handy clay playboard for kids. The raised surface helps protect tables from messes and scratches, and cleanup is much easier. If you don't have wooden beads, felt pads work just as well. Another great idea is to use the cutting board as a sliding tray inside your kitchen cabinet. Simply place spices, food containers, or other small items on top. When you need something in the back, just slide the whole board forward instead of reaching into deep corners. It's a simple way to keep your cabinets organized and make everything easier to access. With a little creativity, an old cutting board can become a practical storage solution while helping you save money and reduce waste. Looking for extra beauty storage? Turn a small wooden rack and a few mini cutting boards into a simple organizer. Because it stands upright, it doesn't take up much space. The open shelves make it easy to see and grab what you need. It's great for storing makeup, skincare products, perfumes, and other small items. With just a few simple items, you can create a practical storage shelf that keeps your beauty area neat, organized, and visually appealing. While washing dishes or preparing food, I usually lean the cutting board against the sink to dry, but it often slips down or stays too close to the stainless steel surface, causing water to collect and dry slowly, sometimes making the kitchen look messier. So, I reused an old plastic bottle to make a simple but very useful cutting board holder. First, I took an empty plastic bottle and cut the body into a long, curved piece. Then I attached this plastic piece underneath the stainless steel dish rack in a suitable spot to create a small support sticking outward. Thanks to the natural curve of the bottle, the bottom edge of the cutting board can rest firmly on the plastic without slipping. When in use, the cutting board stays tilted so water can drain easily, helping it dry faster and reducing moisture buildup and odors. The cutting board also doesn't touch the sink surface directly, making it much cleaner and more hygienic. This idea reuses an old plastic bottle while keeping the kitchen more organized, especially for small kitchens without a separate place for cutting boards. When baking or kneading dough, I usually place a kitchen towel under the cutting board or work surface. Before, the board would slide around while rolling dough, which was really annoying. After placing a towel underneath, the board stayed much more stable and barely moved. The towel adds grip, making the dough easier to roll out. Dry flour also tends to spill everywhere while baking. With the towel underneath, most of the flour stays on the towel, making cleanup much easier. Afterward, I just shake out the towel or wash it. It's a very simple tip, but it makes baking much neater and easier. After cutting food, try to wash your cutting board and knife right away. When the food residue is still fresh, stains and grease are usually easy to clean with just water and a little dish soap. If left too long, the residue dries up and sticks much more firmly. Especially smells from onions, garlic, meat, fish, or oily foods. At that point, you'll need to scrub harder and spend much more time cleaning. Washing them right after use also helps prevent odors from building up, reduces bacteria growth, and keeps the kitchen cleaner while cooking. It only takes a few minutes, but it makes cleanup much easier overall. Repurpose an old grill rack and a wire basket to create convenient extra storage inside your cabinet door. Attach the grill rack to the inside of the door and add a wire basket underneath. The basket can hold bottles, cereal, and nuts, while the rack is great for cutting boards, towels, and everyday kitchen tools. Don't throw away old hangers that are bent, broken, or no longer useful for hanging clothes. With just a few simple steps, you can turn them into handy holders for paper rolls in your kitchen. First, use pliers to cut the bottom bar of the hanger near one end, creating an opening large enough to slide a roll onto the bar. Then bend the cut end into a small hook. This will help keep the roll securely in place and prevent it from sliding off during use. Next, slide a roll of plastic wrap, aluminum foil, parchment paper, or paper towels onto the bar. Once the roll is in place, close the hooked end to secure it. You can then hang the holder on a cabinet handle, a storage rack, or any convenient spot where you can easily pull the paper when needed. This simple upcycling idea not only gives old hangers a new purpose, but also helps save storage space and keeps paper rolls neat, organized, and easy to access. It's a small but practical hack, especially for kitchens with limited space. Kitchen towels hanging on the oven handle usually slip off whenever the door is opened or the towel is pulled. So I added a small round ring to one corner of the towel to keep it secured on the handle. Ever since adding the ring, the towel almost never falls onto the floor anymore, and the kitchen looks much tidier. Such a small trick, but really useful for everyday kitchen use. Now the towel always stays right where I need it, making the kitchen feel both more convenient and much more organized.